Hi. I'm so glad you guys all came today. What we're going to do, well, let me first say that these days, the solar suitcases that we actually make them in a factory, go to health clinics. And it's very important that we build those professionally because if the lights don't come on, the electrical system doesn't work, then maybe a mother will not get help when she needs the help giving birth, or somebody gets hurt, they won't get the help they need. But what happens for We Care Solar is that we get all these requests from schools and from orphanages in countries like Africa and Nepal, Thailand, Vietnam, who also would need light, and they also want light. The kids want to study. I know it's probably hard for you to imagine, right? But the kids there actually want to go to school, and they actually do want to study, and often they're working during the daytime, so they need light at night to help them study. And there are pictures from Africa that actually show kids huddled under street lamps. Some places have street lamps, sharing the light from the street lamp just so they get a chance to read. Well, because we have students and teachers that want to build solar suitcases, we found that we have this terrific opportunity to have students like yourselves build solar suitcases that will then serve students like yourselves that live in parts of the world where they don't have electricity. And some of them have kerosene lanterns. But if you've ever tried to read, anybody tried to study by a kerosene lantern? Okay. How well did that work? And it doesn't smell good. If you knock it over, you catch on fire, and all bad things happen, right? So not so good. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do something really ambitious today. We're going to teach you all about solar electricity, and then you guys are going to build the solar suitcase, and then we're going to assemble it, and then we're going to commission it. You know what it means to commission something? It means to fully test it out before you energize it. Unlike computers, when you build something electrical, you don't just turn it on. Because if you didn't do something quite right, and you turn it on and it's not wired correctly, you know what happens? Yeah, you get to see fire, okay? You get to smell molten plastic. All kinds of things that we don't like to smell and see. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that every circuit is properly wired. Because then these solar suitcases are going to faraway areas like in Africa where it would take us a long journey to get to. And there are no hardware stores around in case something breaks. So when we send it out, it's a lot like when NASA launches a satellite into outer space. They got to make sure it's going to work. And they got to make sure it's going to work for a long time. So you're not just building a little project, and if it works, great. If it doesn't work, okay, whatever. It was a learning experience. You're building something that might be the only source of light for a whole village. It might be the thing that lets kids study at night, or when you hear a noise in the orphanage. You can't. I was at one of these orphanages. When it goes nighttime, you literally cannot see the hand in front of your face. And people tell me all of a sudden they hear a sound. And they know it's a snake crawling across the floor in the orphanage. And they can't reach for a light switch to say, is that a snake? Or what? Or if a kid falls or gets hurt. They can't turn on a light. There's no light switch. So you guys are going to be providing that light switch. Several of the cases that we build today will be going on their way to 2 African countries that need them very badly. So we're not just going to build something that sort of works. We're going to build something that's designed to work for 20 years. So we're going to do something of very high quality. I think that's really all that I really want to say, because I think the best way to learn is actually to do something. I don't know if you guys agree with me, like to actually do stuff. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. There's, what were there, about 40 of you? We've got 5 tables set up over there. We want 8 of you at each table in groups of 4. And then you're going to each get your own personal, high-quality, incredibly well-trained solar instructor. And what we're going to do is we're going to explore the existing solar suitcases. We're then going to diagram the wiring. And then we're actually going to pull out bags of parts, and we're going to build them. By this afternoon, if all goes according to plan, and I'm about 84% confident it will. It's going to kind of depend on you. We'll go up on the roof, and we're going to energize them. We're going to actually hook up batteries, we're going to hook up solar panels, and you're going to harvest some sunlight to fill those batteries. And the way these solar suitcases are designed is that every day, that solar panel fills that battery with electricity, and every night, that electricity lights up the orphanage, the school, the health clinic. This is a very cool thing. Just think about this for 1 second. We're taking light, we're turning it into electricity, which charges a battery. So light is stored electricity. At night, the battery supplies electricity that makes light. This will go back and forth thousands of times. Light to electricity, electricity to light, without using up any fuel, without creating any pollution. And you can also use that electricity to do other things like charge cell phones and communication devices. So let's see, how should we organize you? Is it okay with you if I just break you up into groups right here and send you over? And why don't you guys kind of take a group with you as we go, starting with Gigi. So, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys go with Gigi. You 4 go with Amity. You 4 here. Yeah, you guys already set yourself up as 4s. I really appreciate it.